I have a very small announcement to make about two different things here real quick. First off, I was told Fog was Canadian on multiple occasions from one particular individual that I won't call out right now. So apparently Fog is actually from Kansas, not USA, and my whole gloating about getting Canada involved with the Showmatches tonight was completely incorrect. I'll see if I can rectify that. Maybe we can get a bonus match going on if I can hunt down one of my Canadian friends before this is all over and done with, but that kind of sucks. Also, if you guys didn't catch it during the commercial break, the bot crashed, which does suck a lot, which means all the bets got eaten up while this was going on. So your part twos weren't taken from you, but there's no more bets going on right now, and there's no way to rectify that, so I do apologize for that. At any rate, getting into the game here before we get too far away from this, spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, he's currently down 2 in this best of 7. He's got to start turning this around. Ladies and gentlemen, IVD Gaming's Puck. And his opponent in the lower right. He is representing Chaos Latin Gamers, the Blue Zerg player, JimRising, who started to go for Swarm Host last game. Now, he didn't quite get a lot of Swarm Hosts out, and it was only a small amount. And if we're going to be honest, guys, had those transfuses not gone down, Puck's Archons very well may have actually killed JimRising that game. Like, it didn't seem like much, but that really did come down to the wire, and we'll see if things go any differently here. I'm rooting for Puck a little bit here because I want more games, of course. But JimRising, a player who not so well known, could definitely use the victory as well. We'll see what ends up happening here. I'm gonna just try and get something started. One sec. Sorry for the awkward quietness. All right, I put a question mark in there real quick to Hendrilisk real fast. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to set something awesome up. So, I'm sorry. There's no casting going on because it's not a lot happening either. No one went for cheese, no one went for anything too crazy. And, of course, JimRising just going for that natural base for the time being. But in game at the moment. Alright, so another addendum there. I guess no regrets, the one is Canadian. So I was just told the wrong nationalities by my IVD contact, but that's totally cool. Whatever. I have actually already reached out to Hingeless though, saying, "Hey, dude, let's see if we can get a quick show match going on after this one's done." So he said maybe. I'll have an update afterwards. We may have a bonus show match going on today, just to get some more rooted in concrete Canadian involvements. Anyways, as far as this game goes, it's kind of hard. Like, Puck has been trying, like, I swear to you, God, if JimRising played anything close to normal, everything Puck's been doing would be working out a lot more effective. But you just don't see anyone go for these Ling-heavy compositions. You don't see anyone go for, like, these awkward Swarm Hosts or the Mutalisks that late into a game after players open Phoenixes. And it's on Puck at this point to adjust. Now, here's the thing about Puck that I really like. He is really smart. If you watch his stream, it's not a balanced complaint fest. It's not him whining about other races. Well, sometimes. But for the most part, it's him like analyzing situations. He always knows why he's lost, and it's never been anything too crazy. But above all else, Puck is a really fun personality as well. I don't think people give him enough credit for that, as he's like, he can be a little bit frustrated, he can be a little bit sad, he can be a little bit happy, but if there's anything else, like, he's always enjoyable to watch. So I can only imagine right now he's probably not feeling too great about being down 2-0, but I know he's got it in him to rally. Now there's going to be a Stargate opener coming out of him once again. I do imagine Phoenix, and I'll be very happy if it ends up being Phoenix, but this Overlord trying so hard not to die. Oh, did I miss first blood? Oh, 2 Lings. I'm sorry, guys. I was too busy trying to get a hold of Hendrilisk while this was going on. Double warp gates being slapped on down. And the arrow weapon upgrade's coming right away. Sorry, I'm focused on the game now. I'm done with that close Skype. We'll talk about what Hendrilisk is doing afterwards. Anyways, the arrow weapon upgrades is a very curious choice. Again, going for this early is not necessarily a bad thing. It gives a little bit more power to the Phoenix, but I mean, I was gonna say, if it does something like lose the mothership core early, that's gonna hurt a lot. But again, like, you're not really looking for big Phoenix fights early on. You're not really looking for the engagements. In fact, this will probably transition over better to a Void Ray that follows us up rather than the Phoenix itself. The mothership core is still trying to find a place to get in here, and it's so dangerous to stick around here. The energy it has accrued already is not worth losing. You just can't. You can't afford to justify that. Time warps, recalls, foot on overcharge, whatever he's planning to do with it, he can't afford to lose it for free. So Link's coming across the map. There is the wall down. There's not a cannon behind this though, sadly. So I don't know if this will work out too fantastically because there's no sentry either. The stalker can take some hits for sure, but yeah, kind of limited. There's a lot of Phoenix though down here to the south. Puck is going to be looking to go for some kills, and JimRising has no overseers or no overlords that saw this coming. So unfortunately, there's no spore crawlers to stop this. This queen's going to get killed immediately. Spore crawlers are going to be started pretty much right away. Yeah, there we go. Quick reaction to JimRising, but even then, I'm not sure if that's going to be quick enough. Nice transfuse though out of the queen will force another liftoff here. He decides to disengage after getting the Overlord. Oh my god, 4 HP! The Overlord lives to see another day. But there are 5 Phoenix here, and this is going to take a little bit of dedication to get some kills, but he's getting some free ones right now through these Overlords. The Spore Crawlers are down though. However, one Spore Crawler at each base, not going to stop these Phoenixes. They will deter them a little bit, but you know, it's funny. You look at heavy Phoenix counts, and you've seen some players do really well with them. For example, Monty is one of the European players who really abuses Phoenixes. But then you see some other players, like Desra, for example, tried to do it in WCS, and while it gave him a lot of power in the early game, it unfortunately starts to fall off the later the game goes. So it really depends right now on how these Phoenixes get utilized, and I do like that he's gone for a lot of Queen Snipes. 3 have died so far, not to mention he burned some Transfuses on another. If he can pick off all the queens, it actually stops injects, which is really annoying for Zerg players. JimRising only has 1 queen at the moment, so it means 1 set of injects. But 12 Hydralisks are about to pop, and what's really, really key moving forward into this, guys, is Hydralisks go down so fast as Phoenixes. You're gonna lift up a Phoenix, and it's gonna instantly die. So with enough energy here to pick off 4 or 5, as these spawn 1 at a time, he's gonna have to be careful. But actually, he's gonna get super supply blocked if not careful as well. Phoenixes are not gonna Graviton beam up these Hydralisks, as he could kill them, but instead goes for the Overlord kills. I think Puck was looking elsewhere on the map for a moment there, so that did cost him one of his Phoenixes, unfortunately. But tries to establish a third. RoboBay down, ready to rock and roll. He's got a follow-up plan. This isn't just like, you know, 6 Phoenix all-in weird shenanigans. Actually, I guess it was 7 before that one died, but yeah, another one gets picked off as rallied across. We got these still picking off Overlords here and there. JimRising still supply blocked, unfortunately. Did just build 5 Overlords though. Yeah, for those who are just tuning in, by the way, left side of the camera is Puck, right side is JimRising, and JimRising is the barcode we see as the Zerg player here in game. But Blink on the way, Colossus standing strong, or soon to be out, and he's, I don't know, for Puck, this is looking a little bit worrisome. There's a lot of Hydralisks that he's going to have to worry about. And again, while Phoenixes are going to be really good at dealing with these, the Colossus is kind of what you want to rely on. You don't want to have to rely on crazy Phoenixes doing crazy micro. If you've got a unit that can just kind of clear a line of Hydralisks with each blast. Alright, well, Puck's going to have his 3rd base established, which will be really nice. He doesn't have the greatest SimCity here, because you can't really get a lot going on, but, I mean, this is not a big threat either. There's a couple lings. 1 cannon will deal with that. Not to mention the army's just kind of on standby. But this kind of seems where Puck's, his cap has been so far, so to speak. Like, he's not really been able to secure 3rds or 4th bases and onward, and he's not been in situations where he can really fight too effectively. One thing I would love to see, and it's odd because I always seem to misspeak both of these player names, is I'd like to see some counterattacks going on, like a Hux-style pylon warped in towards the north. Some warp prisms getting utilized, something a little bit more than just what he's got. But Roaches and Hydras are going to kill this newly found 3rd. All these probes here, unfortunately, trying to live through the backing away into the assimilator. Time Warp's going to go down. Some Force Field's going to get slammed down. These Hydralisks are going to get picked off, but the Roaches coming in from the side get on top of the Colossus, and these Zealots were not positioned to buffer for it. So the Colossus actually does not go down with 5 health. It stands and looks like he will hold the Nexus at this rate. Phoenix coming in to Graviton beam up what little is left, and Puck holds very nicely. He does not take much in the way of losses. His probes did survive through that, and more importantly than that, the Nexus itself lives. That Colossus should have died, but it lived. That was a great defense, and while it might not have been an all-in from JimRising, that was a very expensive attack that he cannot replicate again anytime soon. Again, he's got his queens out now, but he was missing injects for such a long time. I really like the implementation of these earlier macro hatcheries that he's been using, but even then, that doesn't make up for the lack of queens he had in the early game from Puck picking them off with each of these Phoenix. Well, Jim's still expanding while this is happening, so he's not exactly scared. Although, I kind of feel like he should be. The army supplies look kind of even right now, guys, but you gotta remember, a lot of this is roaches, and roaches, you know, it's not just immortals that counter roaches, it's a lot of stalkers, a lot of zealots, sentries, more than anything else with force fields cut roach numbers down, and they're gonna try and get past this, but unfortunately won't be afforded the opportunity. And let's not forget, as awkward as this is for an engagement path, what was a drone? What's a drone doing up here? You're drunk, go home. I was going to say, let's not forget the Phoenixes can always Graviton Beam and contribute to the fight too. What's kind of neat to see is while he cleans up this side of the map with those Phoenixes, let's not forget, they can actually just straight up crowd control. So like, let's say you want to take 6 roaches out of the fight, just run in and Graviton Beam. You don't even have to actually attack with them to make them effective. So let's say you force field off 8, you Graviton Beam up 6, you're only fighting 2 roaches at a time. Yeah, that's not going to be difficult to deal with. But 7 swarm hosts are on the way, and during Locust coming out in tandem with this, and I gotta be honest, Puck's army is kind of already set for this, I feel. Although the Roach is get on top of the Colossus, not going to snipe a single one of them off. In fact, just trades these all out for nothing. The comment I was going to make, though, is swarm hosts. You know, what do you need to deal with swarm hosts? Well, about 5 Colossus to beat back the Locust waves. Guess what? He's already got 3, making a 4th, making a 5th, not going to be that big of an issue. But as he pushes across the map, the Locusts are going to start spawning, and JimRising, he doesn't have a lot to defend with right now, guys. Free units are cool, but they're not the scariest things in the universe. A Zealot will go down here. 2 Zealots might go down here. Nope, just 1 for the time being. A Roach counterattack ensues, and there's 2 cannons to defend this badly injured Nexus. Stalkers will blink away, but I don't... JimRising, I feel good, focus on the Nexus. Should focus on the Nexus, kills the Stalkers instead. Reinforcements being attacked by a couple of these, but we see Graviton Beams going off on the Swarm Host. However, Spore Crawlers and Queens are going to pick off these Phoenix if they're not careful. But the Colossus might just be a little too strong. The base is not going to go down. JimRising busy playing Ring Around the Rosie with these Stalkers instead of focusing on the Nexus. Not going to get his end goal in that regards. And Puck just pushing way too strong. GG, well played is called. Ladies and gentlemen, Puck will finally turn this series around a little bit. Now 2-1 instead of 3-0. So congrats to Puck as he gets back into this series.